Hello, everybody. Welcome,
Hi.
welcome, welcome to the Plot Malaysia and our 24th episode, as Ram has quite recently mentioned to me. So 24 episodes in, Ram. Beautiful, beautiful. But this is probably the best of all episodes, guys. If you haven't seen any of our episodes before, this is the one you should watch. You can avoid the rest, watch this one and subscribe to the channel because it's a huge day. It's a massive, massive day. I'm with Ram as well, guys. Firstly, let's introduce ourselves. The Plot Malaysia. We're the show by the fans, for the fans, and by the fans.
By the fans. Yeah.
Awesome, awesome,
Great, great.
awesome. Ram, let me start by asking you, man, how are you feeling?
Hari, a few episodes ago when we did this, you mentioned that you signed up for this. So I signed up for this as well. As a United fan today, I got to take my medicine. And I got to congratulate, of course, the better team on the night, Liverpool, on winning and beating us on our own turf. So I just want to do this because in respect of football, of course, we love football. We support our teams till the end. But I have to do this because I really want to congratulate you guys. So well done. Well done.
Thank you.
Guys.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. And now that I've introduced my co-host Ram for the day, let me introduce two special guests that we have on the show today, guys. One is a diehard Man United fan, as you can see, from JomUnited, the YouTube channel. Guys, we haven't take a look at their channel. It's everything United. Doc, I've got to say some fantastic content that you guys have on your channel as well. I watch it, although with a disgruntled look, but I do watch it regularly as well. So welcome, Doc.
I love it. I love it. Welcome, Doc.
Thanks, Hari. And I think don't worry, even if you subscribe, nobody will know.
And then we've got another Doc in the house. This time a much happier looking Doc, the broad smile on his face. Dr. Tanvir Dylan, who is a diehard Liverpool fan. Welcome. Welcome, bro.
You'll never walk alone. You'll never walk alone.
We'll never walk
Thank you.
alone.
Thank you,
Awesome,
guys.
awesome.
Thank you for having me on the show.
Most welcome, man. Good to have you on. Good to have both the doctors on. And Tanvir, I can see, on our 24th episode, the scoreline actually makes that mark as well, a 2-4. So it's quite iconic and quite ironic as well, come to think about it, right? Don't you think, Hari?
It's awesome, man. I didn't even think about that, bro. But yeah, very, very, very
Yes.
true. Right, guys.
Sorry to interrupt, guys. Just a small thing I would like to say, but Ram, I don't see the enthusiasm in you today, bro. What happened? What happened?
Well, I think what happened, you guys know what happened. A part of me just went missing, after last night's game. I told Hari, I texted him this morning. I said, Hari, I couldn't sleep the whole night. I just couldn't sleep the whole night. As you can see, I've got a bit of eye bags here. Definitely. It was a very sad day. And of course, Doc, I had a chat with you as well. Instead of saying good morning, we were like, bad morning.
Yeah. Firstly, I think thanks also, guys, for having me on the show. And I'm proud to represent JomUnited here as well. I've seen your videos, wonderful stuff that you have. I think we've also spoken about this before. But you can see, I came dressed for the occasion. I'm blue today. It's been a very blue and disappointing night and morning.
Awesome.
Yes,
Awesome.
I came prepared with my background being black, and of course I'm wearing a black United. So I came prepared as well, Doc. Don't worry, Doc. We are still together. We will fight. Next season could be our chance. So Hari, back to you, man. Whatever you have in store for us, bring it on.
Listen, it's going to be primarily a Liverpool episode today, because I don't think the United guys are really in the mood to say very much. So we'll just gloat in front of them. That's the idea of today's episode, We've taken a bit of a beating this season, so it's time to return the favor, as they say. I'm going to start with Dr. Tanvir. Doc, what do you think got us the result yesterday? Basically, what was the main thing that got us over the line yesterday?
Okay. To be honest, Hari, I have to admit, despite the poor form this season, I do not know what possessed Liverpool to come up with such a performance? Frankly speaking, I think, no doubt we had a terrible season with the injuries, and I would say I'm very disappointed with this season. In fact, I have lost mood trying to watch the matches, but yesterday's performance, I think Liverpool, bro, I have no idea, bro. I think the Holy Spirit of Shankly, I think he might have possessed the team. Bro, they did a superb job, and I don't see any flaw in any part of their gameplay yesterday. For me, it was perfect. I think, United were nowhere near them. They were just lucky we didn't play like this the whole season, or not. They would have been,
I totally agree with that, bro. I think we were like a bunch. It almost reminded me of last season's team, lah. Yesterday's performance,
Exactly.
we were after United from the word go, pretty much. I think we started a bit slowly, the game, the first 15 minutes, and I was a bit scared once the first goal went in for United. I thought we were in for one of those hidings, today. But we grew into the game. We started dominating the game. We were pressuring United all over the pitch. So yeah, I mean, you're 100% right, bro. I think it was a complete performance, and it was quite a dominant performance actually all over the pitch. So no fault whatsoever. Who do you think stood out, Doc? If you had to name 3 or 4 players that stood out yesterday.
Okay, for me, I would say the player that stood out the most for me was Alexander-Arnold.
Yep.
I think despite what he did the whole season, I mean, the way he was performing, and they were saying that maybe his mind was elsewhere. He might have been thinking like he wants to go to Barcelona, Madrid. But I think with the way he performed yesterday, I would just like to send out a message. He's definitely staying. He's definitely staying.
And not just that, I think it talked to, like I said in my previous episode, I think it speaks volumes about England's so-called manager, Gareth Southgate. If you don't select a player like him, I think it speaks more about you than anything else. You've got poor judgment, really. He was quality.
Exactly. Yeah. Yep.
Anyone else stood out for you? Anyone else stood out for you yesterday, Doc?
Okay. In fact, the other player who I would like to say that really played an important role was Wijnaldum. I think he did a tremendous job in pressuring and closing down the usual gameplay of United. And I to be honest, I think I loved the way he played yesterday, despite the performance. I mean, we know for a fact, Hari, the way they have been playing this season, especially Arnold, Wijnaldum, and not forgetting another player that stood up for me was Bobby Firmino. He appeared out of nowhere, and for me, if you ask me, 3 players, I would say 3 of them: Arnold, Wijnaldum, and Firmino. I think they 3 did a brilliant job, bro. Honestly, yep.
Fantastic, man. I agree with all of that. Actually, I think the one. I mean, I don't know about you guys, man. Doc. I mean, let me turn it to you, Doc and Ram. Who do you think stood out for Liverpool, or who do you think were the players that gave you all torrid time yesterday?
Doc, go ahead, Doc.
I think Trent Alexander-Arnold was one of them. I think Firmino yesterday scored twice, right? So he would be definitely one of them. But I think we also contributed to our downfall with shambolic defending. Defending. I wouldn't go so far as to say as Liverpool dominated the game. I think it was dominated by either team in separate patches. I think United started well, dominated the early part, and then when Liverpool got back into the game. But what I can say is probably the big moments went the way of Liverpool yesterday, especially the key point being either side of halftime. So they got they took the lead just before halftime, and then poor defending, poor decision making from several players. Fred, Shaw, finally, I think also contributed by Henderson as well. So those are the key moments, and there's another big key moment I think for us when at the score, 3-2. When I think Greenwood shot was cleared off the line.
Cleared off the line, yes.
I think if we had 3-3, it might be a different story. And the last goal, I think we were pushing forward, and Salah is very good at that, right? But I have some comments for Henderson, which I will say later probably.
Okay, I was going to come to that very, very shortly, Doc. I think the other thing I would like to say, just quickly highlight as well is, we mentioned the big players from a Liverpool perspective. Trent Alexander-Arnold stood out. Bobby Firmino stood out. But I think there were some players that were under the radar that did a really good job yesterday. And one of them is, I think the 2 centre-backs have to be given credit, man. They are 6 and 7 choice. One of them is 20 years old, Reece Williams. up against Cavani, Nat Phillips as well. Cavani, Rashford were playing. Greenwood came into the pitch. Bruno Fernandes was playing. So to play away from home against that sort of formidable attack, I think they really stood out. And it stands us in good state next season. We've probably got like really good 5th, 6th, 7th choice centre backs now. They can come in and do a good job, you see. So I think they stood out as well. The other one I'd like to sort of quickly highlight was Diogo Jota. I thought he had a fantastic game yesterday. The back heel he scored was very instinctive, but he was also involved in. He pushed. I think he forced a good save from Henderson early on, and then he hit the post later on in the game as well. And he was involved. He was involved in the third goal as well. So when Doc was mentioning Fred was trying to get out of the blocks, trying to play smart, and then we won the ball back. Shaw got the ball back. And the person who pressured to get the ball back again for us to get that goal was Jota. So I think he had an all-round brilliant game. He played really well up front for us. So a couple of players that stood out from a Liverpool's perspective. I'll switch it now to a United perspective. Ram, I want your perspective on this as well. Who were the players that didn't stand out for United? Or who let you guys down yesterday?
Well, definitely, there were a few players. Of course, Henderson was one of them. I thought he could have had a better game overall. Definitely, I think he didn't. I think surprisingly, Shaw having such a wonderful season throughout. Yesterday, he was not really at his best game. I think he was the one who dribbled. He was trying to actually go past players in his own half, in his own defense, and of course, we lost the ball to Liverpool, and that of course resulted in the goal as well. So, in my opinion, I think, Shaw, Henderson. Ultimately, also, I would have to say Fred as well, because Fred was giving the ball away too much, in the center of the park. Passing was off. He wants to lay the ball across to the right-hand side. It gets clears off by all the Liverpool defenders. So for me, I think, the heart of midfield itself seemed very, if I have the right word to describe this, I think our game was a bit rushed. It was not patient. It was not, how do I put it? It wasn't very nice to watch, because everything seems to be wanting to go in a rush. I want to go and pass the ball as fast as possible. There was no composition, or it was not composed by the midfield. So those are the three main players I picked.
How much do you think that is down? And this is an open discussion, guys. How much do you think that was down? That rush play was down to Liverpool's game and the pressing game, the way we executed the pressing game.
I think it was majorly because of that. Yeah, it was majorly because of that. Because to be honest, let's speak facts. I've not seen any team that when they play against United, they press the way Liverpool did last night. So when the moment their gameplay were disrupted, I think they lost the plot. To be honest, when the moment they were pressured intensively, because no team I've seen pressured the way Liverpool did last night. And
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying, Tanvir. And of course, Doc, if you can also add on to this, I do agree what you say. But the thing is, the fact is, United got the first goal. And that could also possibly be on our downfall, because we're so used to being, conceding the first goal to come back. When we scored the first goal and we did not know how to defend that lead. So I think, it all boils down to this, guys. Hari and Tanvir as well, both of you. We scored the first goal in the first 10 minutes of the game. Any team, when you take the lead, you have a good chance of maintaining that lead, defending that lead. But I still have no idea, why we decided to play the way we played, giving Liverpool possession, 60% possession in the first half. One shot on target. Liverpool had 3 or 4 shots on target, and we basically just caused it to happen to ourselves. We put pressure on ourselves, and that's basically. What do you think, Doc De Gea? What do you think about that?
I think that is the expected style of Liverpool's play anyway. I think that has been Klopp's style from Dortmund. He has brought it to Liverpool. It took some time to get used to it, but they always press very high, and their front three, they press very high, and they press with intent to win the ball back, right? And I think another thing that comes to mind, and you mentioned Fred. Fred has always been a target, and I think previously Unai Emery did this for Arsenal as well. He said, go and target Fred. The reason being, he's good at winning the ball back, but what he does with the ball sometimes is to be questioned. Like he does have, that flair once in a while, Brazilian pass and things like that, but he tends to give the ball away in crucial areas. And when you're giving the ball away, just outside your box, that's asking for trouble. We saw it against, I think it was Leicester as well, who when pressed and he gave the back pass to Henderson, and was intercepted by Iheanacho and he scored. So it is an issue. I think it is something that also probably needs to be addressed. But we know Liverpool press the way they do. But I think yesterday was just very, very poor defending. For me, the two worst performers were actually, I would say, the two centre-backs, Lindelof and Bailly. I think for me, I think they look that they cannot play together. And there's a word in Malay for it, kucakace. They were like all over the place. Terrible. Very terrible defending.
Doc, just one question. Honestly, did you guys miss Harry Maguire?
Oh yes.
I was going to get to that,
Definitely.
The 80 million pound question,
Harry,
Doc. The 80 million pound question. Did you guys miss Harry Maguire?
Maybe Ram, you go first.
I think I've said this, even in JomUnited when we did a collab previously, I did mention that I'm not very comfortable with Maguire and I wasn't very happy with him being in the center of defense. But to be very honest, yesterday made me change my word, take back my word, because with him not there, the solid rock that was ever present when he was at the back of defense was not present yesterday, and that cost us a lot. Because having said that, we have the attackers to score goals, but when you have a rock solid defender, who could actually be, that pivotal defending, the style that he had, I think not having that, I think the players were a bit, I would say, a bit worried in that sense, because they were not able to pass the ball back as how they normally would. I think the confidence was lost in that part of the field. And that's why I think without him, we saw a big hole in our defense. And that's how Liverpool exploited it. And I just have to say this as well for Liverpool, that in argument to that, I think I have to also say that you guys have been so used to having a makeshift defense for quite some time. Without your front two, Virgil van Dijk, and who is the other one?
Joe Gomez.
Joe Gomez, yeah. So I think you guys have found a way to gel even without them. Whereas for us, I know Maguire just got injured, so it came as a shock to us. So we did not know exactly how to benefit from that. So hence, that's what happened. So,
your thoughts on that, Doc?
I think for me, first of all, he's never $80 million defender, right?
He seemed like he was £100 million defender yesterday, Doc. He seemed like he was
$70 million bought you Virgil van Dijk, 80 million got us Maguire, right?
Yeah.
But that being said, he's still the best defender we have in the club, right? Let's put the price tag aside. My only grouse with him is basically sometimes he's a bit laborious on the ball. He's a bit slow. I think sometimes he's not proactive if you compare to like Diaz at Man City, where they go in for the tackle, they make sure they clear the ball first. Sometimes Maguire tends to leave it, but with the other choices that we have at the club, cotton ball, Lindelof, too soft all the time. I think Bailly is always prone to a brain freeze at any one time. He's clearly the best defender we have at the club, and I really, really hope we get him back in time for the final, because if we don't have him, it's going to be a little bit more challenging for us for the final.
I was actually going to ask you.
Sorry, just before I go ahead, let me just say one thing. Nat Phillips has impressed me since the time he made his debut. I think he made his debut.
He's a warrior, man. He's an absolute warrior. I would have him as player of the season for us this year. Honestly, I can't think of anyone else deserving it.
But, I think his first game was against Spurs, against the attack with Harry Kane and Son, and he did really well.
Yep.
So I think he is a good find, actually, and potential to be there at the club and one of the key central defenders in the years to come.
Yeah,
I think
so
he's
too.
been massive for us this year. I mean, I don't know about you, Doc Tanvir, but I would rate him as our player of the season for us, for Liverpool, because he's come in and allowed Fabinho to move back into midfield, which has helped us get results. We are unbeaten in our last 7 in the Premier League. The only 2 games we drew were because Nat Phillips was injured for those 2 games. There was no other difference. So for me, he has made that big a difference. I mean, he's up there. For someone to come out of nowhere, he was going to get sold. He was on loan at a German second division club last year as well.
Yes.
To come out of nowhere and be such a key component of the team, I thought was brilliant. I think the one other thing I have to say, I got to gloat a bit here, Doc and Ram. I'm sorry, but all season, we Liverpool fans have had to hear this, So Virgil van Dijk, one player out, and you guys struggling so badly. Come on, stop looking for excuses. We lost the best central defender in the world. As you said, 75 million pounds. We didn't only lose him, we lost Joe Gomez and our third choice, Joel Matip, for the whole season as well. And you guys lost Harry Maguire for 2 games, and you have lost both games. So I think that shows you the importance of a good central defender and the importance it plays across the team.
I have to say, I agree with you on that, Harry. Definitely Liverpool has overcame a massive hurdle, I would say. And of course, managed to actually win the game. So well done to Liverpool. But I have to say this, Doc De Gea, if you agree with me on this, I just wish the penalty was given now. I wish the penalty was actually given. Seriously, I was just thinking about it, correct me if I'm wrong, but I was just thinking about it. Okay, Bailly, got the ball off. But I think Nat Phillips, right? He got the ball from Nat Phillips, right? And now can we think of the game, how the game went? I wished Liverpool had the penalty. That everything would have changed. But
why would that have made a difference, in your opinion?
So all those whatever set pieces that Firmino scored from and all this kind of stuff wouldn't have taken place. It would have been a different sequence of events, and
on the flip side, it could have been 7-1, or 7-2.
Exactly.
I'm not denying that Liverpool had goals in them. I do think they did have goals in them, but the fact that if the penalty went in so early in the half at that point of time where we just took the lead, I think it would have been a different game altogether.
You guys would have got trashed worse if that penalty were to be awarded.
No.
But then we can use the Liverpool excuse. It was VAR. They gave a penalty they shouldn't have been given.
But by the way, I got to say something. I mean, the penalty situation. I mean, to be honest, I agree with VAR there. I'm not gonna counter that, because I thought Bailly got the ball, but I thought the referee was kind of poor yesterday, especially in the situation where McTominay got a yellow, should have got a second yellow when he pulled Mane down outside the box.
He slipped.
You don't slip with your hands out like that, pulling the guy down.
Yes.
I tell you guys
are very convenient. That's a very convenient.
Trying to find all the smallest things already. You guys won the game, man.
Yeah, take it.
I know, but it could have been a crucial turning point. So point there. I mean, guys, I want to get your opinion about moving forward as well. The summer coming up. I mean, the Europa League final coming for United. I want to get your thoughts on that as well. But just sort of quickly to talk about from the United perspective, I've got to ask this question. I mean, we spoke about Fred, we spoke about Luke Shaw. I maintained it in the when we were on that when we had a collaboration with JomUnited as well, that I think the test for Luke Shaw is when fans are in the stadium, because he's had one good season without fans in the stadium. I question his attitude still, because he hasn't performed for many a year with fans in the stadium. So I wonder how he deals under pressure. Yesterday, under pressure, not from a crowd, but from a team of attackers who were around him, I thought he was found wanting. So, I mean, I think Fred and Luke Shaw yesterday were some couple of the weak links. But I've got to ask this question: what the hell is the hype around Pogba? I've got to ask, what's the hype around this so-called best generational talent in midfield?
Maybe I can take this one, because I'm not much of a Pogba fan as well. Yeah. But first, Shaw, right? I think yesterday he forgot to wear his shorts where he normally has the pocket where he keeps Salah in. I think he forgot to pants with the shorts, with the pockets. Right? So that's why Salah escaped yesterday. Yeah. But I think Pogba is, for me, he has been performing in the recent games, to be fair. But for me, he hasn't done it over time now. If you want to have that kind of a player, that kind of a dominant midfielder, you should be able to do it. Now, for me, Solskjaer has a very big decision to make. And he's been playing Pogba on the left recently, and he's been doing decently well, right? But if he's going to keep playing his, his two defensive pivots, his 4-2-3-1, and playing Pogba on the left, now he keeps playing Rashford on the right, and we've seen Rashford is not as effective on the right as when he plays on the left, especially his combination with Shaw when he cut in and shoot.
Yep.
And also another thing to add to that mix is Greenwood is now the guy in form.
Yes.
In the last 7 games or so. So it's going to be a big call to make, and whether he wants to play Pogba on the left, Rashford on the right, and leave out Greenwood, it's going to be a big call. And I think also whether then comes the question whether they want to shift away from the 2 defensive pivots. For me, if you're using a 2 defensive pivots, Pogba cannot play there because he neglects the defensive duties. He loses the ball very commonly around that area, and we've seen that many times. So it's going to be actually a very interesting decision and a big decision that he has to make for the final. He might maybe have to change to and this was in discussion with one of my colleagues on JomUnited, maybe a 4-1-4-1, dispense with the 2 defensive midfielders so that you can accommodate your 4 attacking players in form. It's going to be a big call. Villarreal will no pushovers. It's going to be a tough final. That's to be that much I have to say. It's not a foregone conclusion as many people think it is.
Who's the?
All right.
I think I've got to throw this out, man, for both Ram and Doc here. Would you get rid of Pogba in the summer to free up funds?
No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't do that because I think despite I do agree with Doc De Gea what you said, but even though he has not been performing consistently, I still think that he has a very good holding. He can hold the ball really, really well. I think that's the thing that I like about him. You see his strength, the way he over pushes players whenever they come close to him. His feet is quite fast. So I think there is very much more game time left for him, and I wouldn't let him go. Not in a heartbeat. I'll give him one more season and then see how.
I think it'll boil down to eventually how United want to play, right? Because when you look at Pogba, when he plays his best, he has a very, very good defensive mid behind him. For France, he has Kante. For Juventus, he had Pirlo playing around him, playing passes. They had that other guy, I can't remember his name, was the defensive mid. It was fantastic, right? And that allows him to express himself. No defensive worries, just go forward. Here, he has got to do his defensive duties. So it depends how you want to play moving forward. And for me, he doesn't perform consistently enough. I mean, a guy who's not had a home goal since what? In 2017 or 2018, midfielder, no home goal. I mean, it's ridiculous comparing, with some of the previous attacking midfielders we had.
Would you sell him? One word answer, Doc.
It really depends. It depends how you want to play, whether you are how you want to use him. But if his attitude is not right, and he's shown over time as well, his agent is quoting this, he's quoting something else. If the attitude is not right, then why not?
Yeah.
True.
Okay. I mean, as we wrap things up, and I want to get to both sides' perspective moving forward now, Dr. Tanvir, we're back in the Champions League hunt now, genuinely back in the hunt for the Champions League spot, because now it's in our hands. I don't think
so.
It's in our hands, actually. If we win our last 3 games, we qualify. Simple as.
You won't.
So it's in our hands now. It's back in our hands now.
True.
What are your thoughts, Doc? Can we make the Champions League, number 1? Number 2, also with regards to the defensive situation in the games moving forward. Now, will you stick with these 2 centre backs, maybe with Ozan Kabak coming in and just let Fabinho be in the middle of the park? Just get your thoughts on those 2 things, Doc.
Okay, first thing, I'm not being biased or anything, but looking at the way Liverpool is playing currently in our past few matches, my hopes are very high that we are going to get a Champions League spot. Definitely, my hopes are very high. And to be honest, if you ask me personally, Ozan Kabak, I don't see anything worthy of him yet. Despite no doubt in his previous club, yes, he did perform well. But if you ask me personally, I'm sticking with our current 2 defensive choices, definitely.
Okay, and Fabinho in the middle of the park,
Fabinho has to be there, bro. Fabinho's spot, it's his house. It's his home. It's his area.
I call him Inspector Gadget, Inspector Gadget, he got these legs that spread all over the park, stopping everyone from coming through. And moving forward, going to the summer, from a squad perspective, where would you like to see Liverpool strengthen? Maybe the 2 or 3 positions.
Okay, I would. I think our main worry, if provided none of our forwards get transferred, especially with these Salah rumors that is never ending that he's going to Real Madrid. provided if none of them actually leaves to any club and all of them stay, I think the one department we have to strengthen is our midfield this season. It's been a bit poor, and plus with Wijnaldum leaving, definitely, yeah, I think one area we have to definitely focus on is the midfield.
Okay, I agree. I actually agree with that. I think the midfield is an area we have to strengthen. Wijnaldum moving on. Naby Keita is constantly injured. Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain is injured all the time as well. So yeah, I think that's
he's getting a free salary, Naby Keita is getting free salary.
A lot of them are getting. And also, I mean, I don't know if you guys saw but Mane had a bit of a spat with Klopp yesterday after the game, where he didn't accept his high-five or something. So because he was left out from the starting 11, so it was a bit disappointing to see from an attitude perspective. To be honest, I mean,
no. Mane is not to be blamed because I'm sorry to interrupt you, Hari, because for a fact, we know he is one player that is always giving his 100% for every matches. All right, he's he never slows down. He goes all out. So from his point of view, I think I completely understand not being chosen for the in the first 11 for the match, but still, nevertheless. I'm pretty sure Klopp will sort it out. It's a very small issue, bro. We have seen Mane and Salah fighting over so many things. We have Klopp. It's not Ole, it's Klopp. So we don't have
it's Klopp. In this situation, we have the normal one, not Ole at the wheel or what the wheels on the bus going round and round. Those wheels are
guys. Okay, Tanvir and Hari, hold your horses. We are number 2. We are far ahead of y'all. We are doing something this season.
The problem is Ole is at the wheel, but the wheels are falling off, bro, at the end of the season.
Once we wrap up the cup, right, we'll come back to see you again. And then we'll see how the Ole's wheels are turning.
Honestly, to Doc De Gea and our Mr. Ram, from a Liverpool's point of view, I sincerely hope you guys lift the cup, because if not, then I think
then we will arrange another show, Doc. We have to arrange another show then.
Funny how you're laughing when you all finished first last year and then now you're somewhere else.
Exactly. Come on, guys.
We're top of the mini league, the United Liverpool mini league. We're top, bro. We'll take that.
Okay. Fine. Guys, honestly, Doctor.
Obviously, we're wrapping things up very quickly, Doc. I want to know from your side, for that final. I mean, if Harry Maguire doesn't play, how do you see that panning out? And prediction from your side, lah.
I think firstly, before I go into the defense, I think for me, he's still number 1, right?
Yep.
And I think it showed yesterday. Henderson's performance, very shaky, third goal.
Yep.
And in fact, even the last goal, right? Good goalkeepers dominate one-to-one situations.
Yep.
Right. And when Salah was bearing down, he was too deep in his goal. And everybody knows Salah's going to open up and put it into his right-hand corner. And he gave him so much of space. So that is why for me, De Gea is number 1 and still number 1 because he brings something totally different and he should start the final. For me, if Harry Maguire is a definite start, and if he starts, then Lindelof will definitely partner him. But I think if he doesn't play, then comes a very big question. For me, I wouldn't put Bailly and Lindelof together. Maybe consider Tuanzebe and Lindelof. They did play well against PSG, and probably might have to have a better understanding. But I won't put these two together again, ever again.
Quick prediction, Doc.
2-1 to United.
All right. Cool. Ram, listen, I'll let you wrap the show off. Show off today as well. Take it away.
All right, before I end, my prediction is going to be 3-1 United, and they're going to lift the European, Europa League Cup. So, cheers, guys. Doc Tanvir and Doc De Gea, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
We definitely enjoyed the session today, and of course, Liverpool fans, enjoy yourselves while it lasts. Okay, signing off from the plot. Show for the fans.
By the fans.
See you guys.
Cheers, guys.
Get me off the meeting early. See you guys.